team conformed by Aranza, Yamel,
Luis.
and Maria. We're going to talk about classism and racism in Mexico, which is the case of a little boy that was kicked out of Cinepolis.
Jose Manuel, a minor who was forbidden to enter to the movies in Tabasco because the way he looked. Barefoot and with a paid ticket on his hand, he was kicked out by the workers with the excuse of Jose bothering other clients. The video shows how a group of students are discussing with one of the workers while the minor is sitting at the stairs. Then a woman appears threatening the kid to leave or he would see the consequences, making the statement that she was the manager of the place. After watching the video, which was viral on social media, the company fired both workers and started communication with Jose and decided to support him. And here are some comments about this event that happened on September 2018.
The following three historical processes that reinforce racism and classism in our country are: the first one, the colony. The start of racism in Mexico was when the Spanish arrived and conquered the country. When Spanish came into the country, they set up a colonial caste system where there were many differences established among people because of their origins. The second one is the 20th century. According to a teacher of historical investigations in UNAM, Federico Navarrete, since the revolution, the mestizaje was one of the founding symbols of the nationality. Because of this, many policies regarding racial homogenization were established but didn't solve the discrimination in the country. Federico wrote an entire book explaining the reason of racism and classism in Mexico called Alfabeto del Racismo Mexicano.
During the Porfiriato, people were discriminated for their skin color. It is known that even the president Porfirio Diaz used rice powder as makeup to hide his real skin color. According to Centro de Estudios Históricos, elite imposed customs based on etiquette codes adopted from European models, in this case, France, to become a modern and progressive civilization. Because of this, indigenous Mexicans were very discriminated. Today, we can still see this through social media, and it was backed up by the Encuesta Nacional sobre Discriminación en México, where 60% of people said that there is an unfair treatment because of skin color, and this survey also said that Mexicans feel whiter as higher as they are at a social scale.
We now know that Mexico is still a racist and classist country in the 21st century. Through the history, we can see that in some kind of way it has decreased, but only because of the help of mestizaje. Some indigenous folks got to be on a higher level, while still the majority part of the indigenous people are still at the bottom of the classes, like it was in the colony. And as Mexicans, we should be ashamed of how we treat the indigenous people. We think that this is really disappointing, because in general, Mexicans are really proud of their culture. But when it comes to indigenous people, many do not seem to be very comfortable with them, although they are a main part of our culture.
Our proposal is that institutions get more open-minded and do not get carried away by how people look or how they dress or even how they talk. The child had all the right to enter because he had already bought his ticket. The manager could have understood the arguments of the people and leave the child alone. And also, the manager could have calmed the lady down who was complaining about him.